Hi, it's JP Smith and welcome back to Boxing Saves Lives. In this week's edition we speak to Blaine. Blaine is a former boxer who first came into a boxing gym at the age of 11. He became an amateur boxer and then became professional. Now Blaine's story concentrates on mental health because this is something that has plagued Blaine throughout his career in the ring and outside the ring as well. Now the important thing to note from the story is just how boxing played an important part in structuring Blaine's life, and that actually helped him to excel when it came to tough times outside the ring, even when he was no longer fighting or training. Blaine will tell you just how important it was for him to have that kind of structured mentality, that he was able to maybe put things into perspective when he wasn't inside the boxing gym. These are new habits that he's building for the rest of his life. Have a listen, enjoy, and I'll catch you again on Thursday. Thank you.
Hello, mate. You right?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. You?
Yeah, not so bad. I think you might have to turn your phone the other way because I've got mine long way. So
all right. Yeah, that's better.
That's it.
Yeah. Fucking technology.
That's it, isn't it?
Is that going to stay?
There you go, mate.
That's better. No, just move here.
That's all right, mate.
Yeah.
How have you been, pal?
Yeah, I've been all right. Just keeping busy.
What's been happening in lockdown, man? Are you working at the moment, or?
Not at the moment. Yeah, I've just been just doing stuff at home. I've been making something for Liam and Tanya today.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. That's good, man. Family stuff, man. You can't beat it, can you?
Yeah,
oh.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be catching up with Liam in a couple of weeks, actually, about the Boxing Saves Live stuff and all that. For anybody watching, it's Liam Conroy. It's lockdown for me, man. I've just been working from home and that, just trying to get through a few bits here. And, it's the last weekend, I think, is when I started struggling. And over the last week or so, with being at home a lot, you know what that's like. And, you can get only so many times you can try and go to the shop to get essentials. And next thing you know, you're like, carton of wishing you're kind of somewhere else. Like, but what was I going to say to you? So just to give you a little bit of an introduction there, Blaine. When lockdown started, I started a new organisation called Boxing Saves Lives. And the purpose of that was basically just to draw attention to what you and I see that happens in boxing gyms over the years, and, the good that happens that doesn't really get seen by other people. And how it helps improve, physical health, obviously, but obviously mental health, where people like myself and yourself kind of know about, the good that comes from that. And, I thought, who better person yourself, obviously, with yourself over the last few years, you've been, you'd be the first one to admit that you've had a few struggles with mental health and stuff like that. And that, boxing was the kind of thing that kind of started to steady the ship for you back in the day. So,
yeah,
let's have a wee chat about that. Tell us a little bit about how you started getting into boxing, years ago and all that, Blaine.
Yeah, when I was young, I started trying to play football, and that when I was in junior school, going up to high school, I was all right. I weren't nothing special, so I spent a lot of time as a sub, and then started missing training. I just wanted to be at home in my own space, playing a computer, and I kind of struggled to form relationships with people. I struggled to trust and that sort of stuff. So the mental side of it was always there from being a kid. But obviously family didn't want me sitting in the bedroom being a recluse all the time playing PlayStation or whatever it was back then. So my dad took me up to the boxing club, and it kind of just took off from there. I felt part of in the gym. Football, it was kind of, I had people to hide behind. I had 10 other people to hide behind, so I could, if I was having a bad day or whatever, they could pick it up. But I think it was just when I was in the boxing gym, there was loads of people like me. At that time I was at Lucy, and there's quite a few good young lads that were around my sort of age, so we kind of I felt like a family in there. It was good to be part of.
So what was your dad's background in terms of him bringing you to the boxing gym? What was his motivation there? Would he have a background or family that knew about boxing? Or was it just that he thought it was a place that could be good for you?
It's just something to try. I think boxing today is getting how it was back then. Back then, everyone kind of floated in and out of boxing gyms. and then it kind of went quiet for a little while, and then like now with Eddie Hearn and the guys at Sky, like doing stadium fights and shows and box office and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of picking up again, and everyone wants to be part of the boxing, like popping in the gym and out of the gym again.
Yeah.
But like my dad never boxed competitively, or like my granddad or anyone like that. But I was the first. I was the guinea pig.
And what was that? How old were you when you first went through the doors of the gym?
I went in Christmas 2000 and I started boxing in January 2001.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had my first fight the following year.
Yeah.
I was always in the gym. I never missed a session. Like you know my background. I don't. If I find something I like, I keep doing it.
Yeah. How was it that what was it like when you went through? What were the emotions? As a young. How old did you say you were when you went through though? 2001.
I started when I was 11, and I had my first fight at 12.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Like it was just like it wasn't a very busy gym, so I kind of got a lot of time with the trainers. There was Brian, who just passed away not too long ago, but like I kind of looked at him as a granddad. We used to go around to because he was a judge as well. We kind of used to go to shows all over the country, and I got to see some of the best lads in now current world champions box with George Groves, Billy Joe,
wow.
Miles Shinkwin, just so many names. Anthony Agogo, all of them. We used to go around and watch them pretty much every week.
Yeah.
Would be somewhere.
I see Liam Conroy's just jumped on there and said, you're
Liam,
a boxer. And you've got to go a lot further, and you're a top man, Blaine. So there you go. You're in good company with Liam, and we just mentioned it. So you're traveling up and down the round. So, how do you think that helped you as a young kid then? What was it about boxing that kind of kept you going back? Because that's the thing, trying to get people to keep going back.
Because I had some focus, and it didn't where I'd been in the championships myself, and I got to the quarterfinals I think 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
But it was I kind of wanted to see the lads that was around my age, and as boxers, as we do, we kind of plan our way. Who could we fight, or what's our route to the world title, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But there was at the time we had, I think Stevenage was the best gym in the country. It was crazy. We had about 8 national champions. It was just mental. Yeah. And the home counties, it's one of the smallest regions within they called it the ABA at the time. But it was one of the smallest, but one of the strongest. You had the likes of Stevenage, Chesham. You had Hoddesdon.
I was going to say Hoddeston's always been good.
Yeah, there was just so many. Boxing in Luton then was it was quiet. Yeah. You only had 2 gyms, Luton and Farley.
And so probably hence the reason why you had to go out on the road and get out and see places and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Okay. I didn't Brian. He was kind of old when I first met him, so we couldn't. I was in the wrong era, kind of if I'd have been born 20 years, I would have had a lot more fights.
Yeah.
But he was an old guy. He had family and retired. He couldn't be travelling every night of the week. But we got about when we could. I boxed amateur for about eight years, I think. Only had 23 amateur fights. But like I said, I was in a gym solid. I didn't have a day off.
And what was the situation with the people around you? Because we know your motivation for going to the boxing gym, but what kind of other young kids were around you? What was their? Why did people end up through the doors of a boxing gym back then?
I think it was all different reasons. You had the kids on the street from different estates. They wouldn't go to certain clubs, or they would go to certain clubs. You had people getting trouble at school. People. Yeah. Not confident, which is maybe why I went there, because I weren't very confident within myself, and it's kind of gently nudged through the door, go and try something rather than just not doing anything.
Yeah.
But sorry.
I was going to say, so what is it do you think about boxing in Liam? Because I always talk to people when I say about
you know, I always talk about self-worth, and you mentioned their confidence, just that feeling that, you know, you can do something, you can actually do something. And like when I spoke to Josh Gooding last week,
Yeah.
and he was saying is that, you know, you might not be good at English, but you know, you might be able to do something a little, you know, feel better about going to a gym and, you know, hitting a few pads and stuff like that. Whereas you're kind of going, okay, well, maybe I'm not that good at the English, but maybe I could give that another go. Maybe I could try. Just give you a wee bit of a boost.
Yeah, it's like I find something, if it makes me tick and like I've got something to focus on, I'll go for it. But like it definitely helped me with the confidence, and like without boxing, I wouldn't have done nothing that like I have achieved. Like to think that I used to box in places with hundreds of people, and like if you took the boxing out of it and asked me to get on the stage in front, I thought, no way, I'm not doing that. Yeah, like I'd be terrified of that.
Yeah. And when you were through your time in boxing and that, did you see some highs and lows among the people around you as well? Then, you know, because, you know, people who slipped in and out of boxing kind of went down the wrong way as well. I mean, it's a well-worn phrase in boxing, you know, going down the wrong path. Yeah. Have you seen things like that happened? Or?
Yeah, like I remember growing up as a kid, there was the two brothers that boxed at Farley, Digger and Kinsey, and if anyone's local, like these two, they were special. Digger beat world champions. He beat Paul Lovell. He beat Michael Maguire. He was the man. When we got to kind of like, I'm not going to put it. I don't know a lot about the traveller culture, so I can't say it's not an excuse. Like he just like he got married early, had a couple of kids, and he kind of faded out of boxing. Yeah. And like he had a bad car accident, and like it was gutting because he could have gone, could and should have gone somewhere. But it is what it is. He was like, it was good to have him in the gym, train with him, and like his dad Willie John used to train us as well, and it was just to be around them, like it kind of boosted the whole gym. They were achieving what they were doing, and it kind of brought, if you were on a show when they was on the show as well, like you knew you had to win.
That's good. I love that. You know what? Those people like that around you who literally just motivated you.
Say that again, sorry?
I said it's great just thinking that, just those people just around you who just motivated you. Just
like even before them guys came over to Lucy, we had like lads like Steve Ely, who I used to go and watch him in the ABAs and that. He was a few years older than me, but he was good. I can't remember his exact record, but he only lost about 3 or 4 fights, and he was like that. Like the guys that was boxing in like the 90s and early 2000s, he was kind of like in the middle of like age-wise of me and them, and he was something. He was good. But he was good at football. I think he used to play for like Aston Villa youth team or something. Right. He got told to focus on that, but he went back to boxing. But he was good. He was a good fighter as well. Still is.
And that's the thing I've seen a few times when I'm talking to people. You know, someone like Kay Prosper as well. Yeah. Started off in football and then actually just did. I mean, someone like Kay, you look at him and go, "Well, you would have been an athlete one way or the other. You should have been a sprinter or something." Yeah. But I have that connection with some people, you know, like yourself, that bit of football, next thing like into boxing, and sometimes it's just to kind of give you that something different to kind of what you can be. You know, you can be in some ways you can be a bit selfish. You go, right, this is for me now. I want to do this something on my own. You know, there seems to be that connection.
Yeah, it's like what I like about boxing is like I remember in school when year 7, like going to football trials or whatever, because every kid wants to be a footballer at that age and failing, and then like how it knocked my confidence. It's like you had a lot of the same kids that had got into the football team, then went on and got into the rugby team and the running team and all the other teams, and it's kind of like the same people. But once I got kind of knocked back, it hurt a little bit. So like when I went into the boxing gym, it was levels, and it was like I could find a level like to begin with. It was in the gym. Like they're the good kids, so I need to get a bit more experience before I can go in with the likes of them. But to begin with, I'm a beginner, so like you could kind of just slot in where you can. Which like for someone who struggles with confidence like me, that was perfect.
Yeah. And that, in what way did the coaches help you once you're in the door of the gym? Because as you said, you're just starting from scratch. There's a clean slate. You're walking through the door. What does it do? What do the coaches do? Is it just that they have that one-on-one interaction where you're going like, you could do that better without saying, you know?
Yeah,
you know,
it's like I respect
you, I
every
guess.
person that coaches in a boxing gym, because they, like, especially today, they get hundreds of kids come through the door,
Yeah,
and like not many of them stay. They come in and demand pads, or I want this, I want sparring, I want that. You give them it and they don't come back.
yeah,
So it's like, I can understand, like when I done my coaching course, there was like coaches like, and this was a GB coach at the time, and he was like, I don't give no kid, I don't even really speak to kids or adult, whoever in the gym, until they've been there for a good 2 months. He was like,
right.
I don't do that. He said, it's not to be horrible or think I'm better than. He said, it's to do that because they keep coming back. If they want something, show me you want it, and then I'll give you it. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I can understand that. Yeah,
I used to, like, Lucy was a quiet club at that time. Like some nights it would just be me. There'd be Brian and Danny Finn, and it would just be me. So I'd get the training. And I remember I was about 12, and they said, come and train with the seniors. And at 12 years old, I was like, whoa, they must think I'm all right.
yeah,
So it kind of, that was a boost. And it was like, there weren't no one in the gym. It was just me. Roy Baptiste sitting the bag in the corner. But to get like asked to come back like 3 nights a week rather than just one, I was so happy of running home, telling my dad, and it felt really good.
yeah. I mean, that's like the life of an amateur, really, or a pro boxer. You know, to work 3 nights a week. You know, yeah. Some people, that's a really good boost for you, as you said. Yeah.
Yeah, it made me like just want to get involved more. The 1 night a week was good. It was like I was going to the gym on a Wednesday, I was training, and then I was like using that. I was buzzing around all weekend, waiting to get back, just counting days. When's Wednesday? And then like when it was like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then like as you get a bit older, the Fridays become a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, we know that too well, don't we? So you mentioned earlier about, you know, like people from the traveling community not getting involved in boxing and that. What do you think of the situation with Tyson Fury and everything we've seen with him and his mental health and all that over the last few years?
Like, I love Tyson Fury. Like some of the stuff he does, I don't really like things. But then again, I think we all make mistakes, and people do things without necessarily thinking about the consequences before we do them. But like, if you put that stuff aside, look where he was. Like, I've been in this very similar position myself, like with what he's been through. And fair play to him to come back, because I can tell you now, it ain't easy. It's no walk in the park. Like when you've been there, and like to wake up in the morning and really not want to be here, like just to get your mind kind of clear from that stuff is hard, because it's a battle. It's there every single day, every minute of every day. It's always there, and it's not going anywhere. Like, you can take medication or whatever, but you forget to take it one day and it's there again. But to get through all of that, like to keep his family alongside him, and then to get back into the ring and fight is massive. That is massive. But to like regain the world title, like the biggest prize in the whole of sport, the world heavyweight title, to get back in and win it, it's phenomenal, man.
It's phenomenal. It's inspirational, isn't it? When you think, you know, when you see the pictures of him now, Blaine, or back then, you know, we kind of forget it. We're all just like something you see on TV and like a program. But actually, he really was that big. He was like 25, 26.
He was massive.
He was massive, you know, when he just turned it around. And as you said, the easier path there would have been just to keep going. And he could have eaten himself to death, you know what I mean, in one way or another. Or, you know, with the depression and all of that. And, you know,
I remember
the thing that comes with that.
People
how he managed to keep it going.
Bernard Hopkins, like, I used to listen to him talking, and that I loved him fighting. He was great, but to hear him talking, like he turned professional at when he, like, I don't know, 18 or whatever he was, but he lost his debut, and like people think today, like, one loss and that's it, over. He then like got stabbed or whatever it was, and then he missed 18 months of a boxing career after like that horrific injury, and I think he ended up in prison or whatever it was, and then he just went on a crazy run and like one of the longest reigning champions in history. But it's just like how you take the knockback. Like, I could get, if I got in the ring and I lost, it was a close fight, I could take it because I know on my day I could maybe have got the nod.
Yeah.
But like to see some of the things like that, the guy, it's inspirational. Like Tyson, like when you seen him 25 stone or whatever he was, like who would have put money that he would come back to win that heavyweight world title? Not many people would have done that.
No. I mean, we knew how good he was. I mean, I remember being in a gym in Luton and saying to people before the Klitschko fight that he could win it. There was a load of people just laughing. He said he won't win that. I was like, he will. And it was like, after that, I think just the pressure that came after that. And the truth is, that pressure is the same. You know, as we always talk about things like addiction and that, it's an equal opportunities destroyer. It doesn't matter what your background, your ethnic background, your social economic background, whether you're working or not, you know, whether you're well educated or not, you know, that can get you whatever you're on. He just won the world heavyweight champion, all the belts, and still he couldn't handle it because it was just too much. Yeah. But he came back from that. Amazing.
Like with Tyson, I know a lot of people say that, like, we all know how good. I don't think we really do. I don't think we've seen the best of him. He's one of the people like Ali that he's a today version of Ali, and I know that Ali's brother said he doesn't like people saying it, but he is. He is today the closest thing that we'll see to Muhammad Ali. Like he's one of them people that you're not going to or no one will recognise what he done until he's finished, till he's gone.
Yeah.
He is a one-off. They say that the one-offs come every 20 years or whatever, and he's the one-off.
He's the one-off. I totally agree. And he's just got everything. And how do you think now, based on what he's done, and he's come back, and you know the publicity's there, and I haven't seen any of the ITV program that's happened in the background.
That's great.
He's great. And so, how do you think that would have inspired you as a young kid just coming into the boxing gym?
Like to look at him, someone who had similar issues going on, but to come back and like show that it can be done, because like that it just I would have believed it could be done. So I when I went for it myself, and like I thought it was impossible. I kind of conceded. That's it. I won't ever fight again. I'm finished now. Yeah. And but to see Tyson do it, I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit more biased because I know what it's like.
Yeah.
But he's inspirational, not just as a boxer, but as a man.
As a man, yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And it's, you know, you've got people like that in the sport, and you see people like Anthony Joshua, and they inspire people in different ways as well, because obviously his background, and what we talked about as well in Boxing Saves Lives, is, you know, you can easily get dragged into stuff, especially now when we look at things like county lines now.
Yeah. You
can so easily get... I know I would have been the first to criticise Anthony Joshua. What's he doing that? Especially because he's somewhat for us being from Newton, but that's a different story. But, you know, we first wouldn't have a dig at him. But actually, when you think about it, nowadays, I look at it now and I go, so many young kids started getting dragged into these things, you know, like county lines, getting involved in drug dealing and stuff like that, that you kind of need people in the sport who can remind people just how good it can be if they can get some help, get a fatherly hand around their shoulder and say, you know what, maybe you could stay away from that. Come and do this. Be somewhere else than out there, you know?
Yeah. I think, like, people get drawn to the wrong things. So, like, they look at people that have made money or whatever, done it the right way, like Fury, Joshua, Beckham, all Rooney, and all, like, people that have done it the right reasons, but how am I going to get how am I just going to get the nice clothes or whatever quickly? That's how it, like...
Yeah, there's no easy way to do it. There is no easy way to do it.
Cut all of them corners, and we just, like, we know the consequences. Some people, that's enough to scare them off, but some people are like, well, this is the life I want to live. That's the consequences. Okay, they come hand in hand. Let's go.
It's and some people, especially say young children, now consequences are what happened to other people. Do you know what I mean? That's what you're like, no, well, that won't be me. Do you know? Yeah. I'm only doing a little bit here. I'm only getting a little bit from here. I'm only doing a little run here and there. You know, I'm just doing this. The next thing is like, you know, the police are involved, and your mum realizes your mum and dad realize what happened. You're like, okay, there are consequences. Do you know? It's kind of, and by that stage, it's too late. I
think, like, a lot of people, me included, at times think that I'm going to be the one that is special and different, and it ain't going to happen to me. Yeah. But let me, if anything, be the message that if it can happen to me, it can happen to anyone. Like, no one. It just wrong place, wrong time. Someone saw you doing something you shouldn't be doing, and that's it. That's all it takes. And then, like, just look at the bigger picture. Like when
Yeah.
people used to say that to me when I was young, and I used to think, yeah, I've got all the answers. Like they were saying it for a reason. Like they were kind of using their experience to help me. And I don't know, maybe, I didn't always listen to it, but I know I should have. I should have. Like they're not saying it to me to just make conversation, and saying it for a reason. And it's up to the younger generation what they make of it.
Yeah. And it's like, it's difficult to listen to other people because you're, you know, it's you're just kind of, you're short-sighted when you're younger and you don't quite see things. But I say that, you know, with some people, especially when they can be targeted when they're out on the streets, young people now, and get drawn into things. That's why I say boxing could be a great place. For what you said, you know, building your self-worth, building yourself up so you can feel more confident, and you can go, you know what, I don't want to get involved in that. I can feel more just feeling better to say no, and actually not even being there where people could be opportunistic, you know. I always say about the county lines, the means, the motive and the opportunity. They have the means. There are loads of vulnerable kids out there. They have the motive. They're making a lot of money. The opportunity is the thing we could step in the middle and go, actually, you know, if those kids aren't there, they could be in the boxing gym building themselves up and they can't be got at, you know. It's
from going to the different boxing clubs and always being around the scene, I always had like the older lads to like not only to look up to, but we looked out for each other. Like we had Liam around, Marco around. Like there's just lads in Milton Keynes that used to come down and train, and then we got a bit older, and some of them would be doorman or some of them would be out, and it was like we had friends that was Asian, black, traveller. We were good friends. Like if we went out, like we would forget who we were with, and it would just be the boxers together, and it was great. And we'd go to shows all over the country, and it'd be like we'd still stick together. It'd be Lucy, Farley, Hooker Ring, Dallow, everyone together. It was like, and Luton Shamrock as well. And it's because we know each other. We had that camaraderie between us. Like, and then like the lads that then went on to turn professional. We didn't have to get to know each other. We already knew each other. We could just go into the pro gym, and it was like, how you doing, mate? And we were sparring. We knew everything about each other, and because we were friends.
Yeah, that's great. And
it's
I see that.
Sorry.
Because I still see that in the gyms as well. Wherever you go, you get a lot of young people are very respectful to each other, and all that, and socialise beside the gym, even though they've only met about 3 or 4 weeks before and start kicking around together. You know. Yeah.
Even today, like to think my last fight was it will be. God, it was in 2009, so a long time ago. And I still get people like, if I went downtown or wherever, how's boxing? And I'm like, well, I haven't boxed since 2009, but people still like, how's boxing? It's just, I don't know, it's just something that I do. It's like, it's something that I'm known for.
Yeah.
But it like, I don't get no trouble for like. It's not. I'm not saying that because I've done boxing. I think I'm someone. I'm not. Like I've got good people around me. I know who the good ones are, and I know who the bad ones are.
Yeah.
It depends. Like my choices weren't always good, but
that's the same for all of us, though, Blaine. Do you know what I mean?
No matter
what your walk of life is, you can make decisions. You can kick around the wrong people.
Yeah.
You can choose to get. You can get. In fact, sometimes you don't make a choice to get pulled into things, or go into things willingly, and. You know, but we all make mistakes. That's the thing. Yeah. And the good thing about boxing gyms is, you know, you go through, you can start draw the line, start again. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
But it's like, boxing. Had I not been in the gyms or whatever, I've met all them different. Like I said, you had the black lads, the Asian lads, the traveller lads. I would have never I wouldn't have had the opportunity to make friends with them sort of people.
Yeah.
Because I don't know any of them. If I hadn't been in the gym, I wouldn't never have had that. Had that opportunity.
To meet those
but
people,
some of my best friends are of all of them backgrounds now.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah. Especially a few years ago and that. You've been kick people around with people or when you're working with people, but that's the thing I love about boxing as well is that it's when I used to work in the public sector. It's like people's like you have diversity, inclusiveness, and all that.
and that you don't get anything more inclusive or diverse, as they say, you know, as a boxing gym. Because you get, as you said, people from all backgrounds mixing in together. What more do you want? You know, it's brilliant. It ticks every box that you want.
If you get like young lads, as you do, if they come in the gym with like attitude or whatever, if the trainers don't knock it out of them, like they'll end up earning each other's respect, like through sparring, through hitting the bags next to each other and thinking, I better not give him anymore because he's a bit quicker than me. But yeah, there's good and bad. Like I think when the way they hype up boxing shows today, and it's like I can understand if genuinely the odd 1 out of 10 fights or whatever people have needle. Like I could tell you, like out of every single opponent I've had, I've never disliked any of them. And it's been the same. Like we've shook hands before the fight, after the fight. It's just business. But like the way it is today, and I think it's to sell tickets and draw.
It's literally, you can't.
It's impossible to dislike. If you dislike every single person you're hating before you've even thrown a punch at them, there's something wrong with you.
Exactly. Yeah, you're the problem. Yeah, they haven't changed. You've changed. That's the problem. Yeah. I remember that before when I started doing boxing Luton. I was going to a show in Aylesbury and seeing you know, Linus. I was going to see Jordan Reynolds boxing. I remember going then, and back then, obviously, the rivalry between him and Linus Udofia. Yeah. I remember going there thinking, oh, they're both going to be there. They're going to be a bit of needle between the two of them. And they were just standing around chatting away to each other. I mean, it's just, I was like, I didn't have a clue that everything was just, you know, this how it was. I presumed there was going to be a lot more to it than that, but there really isn't. Everybody's just so respectful of each other.
The second fight, when Linus and Jordan boxed over it's actually the home counties final, but it was over in Canvey Island in Essex. It was crazy. But, like, I was in the same gym as Linus. I've done the corner for most of his amateur fights. I was speaking to Jordan's mum, Debbie, before the fight, and like she's a lovely woman. Like, like I was speaking to Jordan before the fight as well, and like I've known Jordan for years and years. He's a good lad as well, and like he is like Linus, Jordan, anyone that's boxing today. There's a little Frankie Story as well. He's the man. But
correct.
Like it's good to have them because people will look at them and they're putting like kind of Luton boxing, they're flying the flag. They're the ones that's going out from the gyms to the countries or the places, wherever it is they're going, and people are reading about them and seeing, oh yeah, I know that laddie from and that's the kind of stuff that people should look at. That's what I look for.
Yeah, spot on, Blaine. Yeah, because they're really good role models. As you said, you know, they're the kind of people you could just go up and chat to. I've been out with Linus in different places. People come up to him and chatting them and just getting a picture taken, even down at Luton Town or whatever. Or we were at a party the other week, and my father-in-law wanted his picture with Linus. So I was like, you know, he's like
Linus should have loved that.
Sorry, Linus. He's like, yeah, but I don't really know him. I'm like, oh, okay then. Yeah. But you know, he's like that. He kind of inspires people. People want to kind of know about him, and he could inspire any young fighter coming through. And Jordan as well, and Frankie Story. That, you know, come in, you know, try a bit of boxing and see how you get on, and you can build up because they can show you, you know, they're good people. Do you know what I mean? There's no airs or graces. There's no nonsense. Just good people.
I've not a bad word to say about any of them. They're all of them are absolute gentlemen. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't get on the wrong side of some of them, but
no. I wouldn't know care possibly.
They'd sooner walk. Like they're all the type of people which has been like kind of by their trainers, likes of Brian Noblet, Noel McIver. They wouldn't have any attitude. Like you come to my gym and I'm the boss. That's how it was with them. Yeah. And we kind of got taught you'd rather help someone than harm them. Like if you were in a gym and like you had like I don't know what that middleweight from America, he's 5-0 or something, and he was sparring with the other lad that's never.
Oh, I saw that the other week.
And he got like if that happened in a gym and like us lads was in there, we'd be queuing up to get in the ring with that guy. Yeah, because it's not how it goes.
It was a video for anybody to just watch it. It was a video basically of, you know, a guy sparring with somebody who looked like he was quite a novice and kind of really overdoing the punching and the uppercuts and all that. And the reaction from the boxing world was, you shouldn't be actually doing that in the ring with somebody who's not as good as you. Just shows exactly what boxing is about, and that shouldn't happen ever. You know, it can happen where fights can be overmatched and somebody can win easily, but you wouldn't do that in a boxing gym where somebody just bosses somebody around and is, you know, over aggressive and all that. And the fact that the whole boxing world looked and went, nah, that should never happen, just shows how respectful people are when it comes to boxing and how they should be treating their opponents. So it says it all, really, and how, you know, despite its reputation, boxing, it's a hell of a lot more civilized than people that, you know, people can begin to imagine.
Yeah, you do get like the odd idiot like Adrian Broner and people like him, but
yeah,
how many boxers do people know? And to pick one out of hundreds is like it's the same. You could probably do the same with football or rugby or whatever, but like, it's really, especially growing up from like my mid years, from like 11 to 15, 16. It was, I had nowhere else to go but boxing.
Yeah. And that's the thing. What we're saying now is having this as a place to go is going to be good for young people, because I think now more than ever, you know, they're at risk of harm. The thing is, when you mentioned about the lads in the gym years ago and that, putting their arm around you, making sure you're all one big team, you know, I think about things that go on now in gang culture and that. You know, years ago, there probably would have been a lot of people in the background who would have seen a young kid of 12 or 13 kicking around the streets and tell them to get home. Whereas now, they're actually being dragged in and being used by adult people in order to start getting involved in drugs. I'm sure it happened to some extent years ago, but it seems a lot more prevalent now. Whereas I think back in the day, you know, there would have been an extent where people would have said, you need to go home, mate, you need to get off the streets. Sometimes that's just not happening anymore, and people are a lot more, young children are a lot more at risk of harm, I think.
Yeah. If it, like, they see people with the new trainers or whatever and think, how's he got them? He's only my age. And maybe come sneaky about what it is that they're doing, rather than like be honest to their parent, be where they are or be where they say they're going to be. And like,
yeah,
I'm really lucky because like both of my parents, like I live with them, but they've been with me through the whole of like my issues, and like having them there, that they know, because I talk to them, like they know where I'm at. So if I'm not having a good day, they'll come and check on me, like what's going on, like come and sit with us, don't isolate, and like they've been really good with me. Like not everyone has that luxury, but it's the people that are the good people that are in your life. It's so important to talk to them.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Just get honest with them and like be honest. It's honesty is massive.
And that's a tough thing when you're going through things like depression and all of that and addiction, is that you just want to be left alone. Being alone is probably the worst place you could possibly be, because, you know, nothing is going to get fixed. You know, as we know ourselves, is that, you know, talking helps. You know, talking, you know, you can speak to somebody. They might say that one thing that actually is the thing that kind of builds you up a little and go, all right, okay, I need to shake myself out of that. And as you know, as you alluded to earlier, if you're involved in, you know, in a boxing gym, it could be your coach. Or it could be he's saying, oh, well done on making it in today. And he could look at you and he could know without even saying that you've been struggling all week. It's good to get you through the door. And that could be the thing that kind of gives you that lift and gets you, right, okay, I need to get out of this slump, you know.
I think like it depends who's saying things to you as well. It could be, say, me and you was having a conversation with a kid. He might not understand the way I phrase it, but if you said the same thing in a different phrase, it would click.
Gotcha.
And,
and
it's like you had that in the gym, and it was good. It was good. Like some nights, like Brian and Noel used to run a gym at one time together. So, like if Lucy closed down like they did at the end of the season, I'd go up and train with Noel. It weren't a problem. Because I remember boxing up in Liverpool one day as well, and like we had to be at Noel's house for about 6 o'clock in the morning or whatever, and like we all travelled up together. It's just the way it was. Yeah, 2 different clubs from the same town going up together.
Just being a part of something.
Yeah,
again, probably why
it was like a family. Like I could go out, like the Lucy Club was about a mile away from where I live, but I was safe to go by myself. We used to have Roy come down the road, and I'd wait looking out the window to see him come past with his gym bag. And I went out, like my mum and dad knew where I was going at that age, and it was just like, Roy was with. It was like having a second family. With Roy is cool, or like I'd be out running and I'd see someone out. Like still today, I'll like driving past or whatever, and I've seen Nabil Ilyas running down the road, or his
Oh,
brothers.
Nabil, yeah.
And, like, it's good to see, because we do it, like, although I'm not boxing, I still follow boxing. I still follow them lads. Like, I don't watch a lot, but I watch the Luton boys, like, and like that's all I'm really interested in boxing. So I want to see them guys progress.
Yeah, and you can tell there. I mean, you having that environment around you, people hand around you. Can you imagine how young kids who get involved in like gang crime and that actually becomes their kind of family, the place where they're wanted, shall we say, or at least where they feel they're accepted. Whereas you're lucky to have your family and that around you. You know, some kids in care, some kids with mental health, some kids with learning difficulties and all of that can get dragged into this and then be fooled into thinking that this is the manipulation, looking after them.
Yeah, manipulation. It's like if something was easy, why would they get someone else to do it? Like if it was that easy to make so much money, why would I need you to do it? I'd just do it myself. And that, like, it's not stupid. It's manipulation. I buy that pair of trainers, or I'll give you that nice watch, and then you do this. Yeah. And it's just like, it's something that I'm glad I didn't get, because of boxing. I wasn't allowed to get like too far into that stuff. I would have got dragged out by lads in the gym. But I can see how people do get roped into that sort of stuff. Yeah. Like, I've had friends that have got into that stuff.
Yeah.
And once they're in too far deep, it's too late.
I know. You know what to say. Was it to say it was better to fix a... I can't remember the expression, but basically it's easier to basically fix a child than try and fix a broken man kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes you're too far down the line that actually that person's life experience is beginning to actually, you know, taint the rest of their lives, and that they just can't, you know, you're trying to go backwards once you've experienced all of that, and some of the things you'll end up seeing. That's why it's so much more important to try and get people to engage with something that keeps them away from that kind of life.
Right. You're kind of jumping about.
You're just gone for a second there, Blaine. What's that?
Oh, is it me, is it?
You've gone there, mate. You've gone.
Am I there? No.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
That's better, is it?
What have we got? Harris Malik, hello, mate. That's better now, mate. Yeah, you haven't come up on the screen, but that's grand. There you go, Liam Conroy. Just read this comment while we wait. It said it's all about learning and bringing each other on. That's exactly it, isn't it? Learning and bringing each other on. Everybody behind each other. Everybody backing each other to help each other to move on. And no matter what level you are in a boxing gym, there's people like yourself, people like Liam, who are just there ready to kind of, you know, give you a helping hand and say, you know what, you did well this week. I see that all the time with someone like Liam. So probably going out the door, and you wouldn't let somebody go out the door without letting them know just how well they've done that week, you know. Or, you know, the other way goes, you know, keep an eye on that. You can do better with that. You know, let's see how we get that sorted next week. Gives some young people such a lift. Are you there?
I'm here. I think I keep losing you. I'm on my mobile data, but...
All right. Well, you chat now, Blaine. I'll let you talk now. You just haven't popped up on my screen, but you carry on. Just talk a little bit about, Blaine, about how, you know, how you think young people you think can be helped with. Yeah, I just can't see at the moment.
No.
That's right.
Is it working? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, carry on, mate. You can keep chatting. Your picture hasn't come up, but don't worry.
That's better. Like the older lads, like Liam, like even as I got a bit older, and I used to see Liam out at work and that, and like he'd make sure I was all right, or make sure I was safe, make sure I got in a taxi at the end and got home safe. And like there was other lads around that. If I'd go, people watching me to make sure, like they couldn't stop me doing what, like they couldn't do it because I'd end up just ignoring them and going somewhere else. But
yeah,
there was always someone close to the boxing gym that knew me, so it made it harder to kind of do whatever.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of the things that you do was like you have that respect amongst each other as well. That kind of brings you to help each other out. And then, you know, I'll talk about discipline as well, which is good. It keeps you going and can be disciplined even if you're somebody who kind of was always called in late to work or something, wasn't going into school. You know, it could be that kind of push that gives you to kind of go, you know what, I need to sort my life out outside of the boxing gym as well.
Yeah. We had, like I've always been, what happens if a trainer turned up 5 minutes late on a day of a fight? And it's like people would leave gyms and go to different gyms and but discipline, it's taught me about discipline. Like today, if I've got to be somewhere, if I'm agreed to be there at 11, I'm always there at 1:45. I'm always early. And if I'm 10 to, I feel like I'm late. It's been this, and Alex Bishop, another local fighter, will tell you when like there was time to send him home from the gym because like he come late, and it's like the trainers say, like if you're the one, they're the ones putting themselves out to bring them guys forward and give them the respect they deserve, because like their job's not easy. Like if a football team loses, the manager gets the blame. If a boxer loses, the trainer gets the blame. And it's like they're all individuals. They're all cogs in the clock to make it work. And
that is a very good point.
Everyone's got everyone has to work together. It's a team, and you need that team to get the final product.
Absolutely spot on, Blaine. Yeah, we easily forget that, is that a lot of these people who work in these gyms, it's their reputations on the line, you know, and they will, you know, it's right, you know, like when someone like Liam there, he's out on a digger during the day, or, you know, Paul Webb's out working for the council, you know, Ryan Baptiste working for the council, or, you know, Lee's on the bricks down in Luton Town Box Club, you know, it's just people are like I work full-time job as well, and you know, when you're coaching, you've got another job going on as well.
Like Paul, Liam as well, they're busy men, and like they're either in the gym at work or they're on their phone somewhere, and like they're non-stop, like, and like both of their partners, that like Paul's got Amanda and Liam's got Tanya, it's like they're amazing people as well for putting up with that. But they like if you ask them deep down, they probably tell you they don't want to be working 12-hour days and then having to go to the gym for another 4 or 5 hours. They don't want to. They're probably knackered, but they'll do it because they don't know what else to do. They do it because the sport that's given them so much, they're trying to give back to that sport, and to like the people that was there, like Noel and Brian, that helped them. They want to be the next Noel and Brian and help the younger guy.
And that's the thing that I think that people don't see, and that's why I wanted to do with Boxing Saves Lives. People don't realise what goes on behind the scenes in boxing gyms, and it helps so many people. And also the selfless work that's done by coaches in gyms, you know, working full-time jobs, you know, coming up. People talk about all the guys who are in amateur boxing or professional boxers who work jobs. They're coaches as well. They're not going in there on their own. No. Who's opening up that gym? Who's there till 10 o'clock at night? Who's on the phone to one of the boxers? Who's on the phone to one of the young kids who's coming through the gym and making sure they're okay and all that with their parents and that? You know, that's what the coaches are doing. It's just,
they deal with,
not recognised.
Like, I think every gym has the parents that come in and they're like, my son, he's not doing this, he needs to be doing this. Well, like, again, if they knew it, why you bring them to the boxing gym? It's, the trainers, they've got a hard job. And when you think about it, all you've got to do is turn up to the gym and listen. It's they listen and put the work in. Yeah. You give the trainer 100%, he'll give you 110%. Like that's the way it works. Yeah. Like if
you really are that good, we'll soon find out. It's like that. If you really are that good, we'll soon find out.
If I wouldn't get into the ring and have a fight with like as a random stranger doing my corner because he doesn't know nothing about me. But like I train like James Paisley, Liam Conroy, and Paul Webb as well. Like them guys know me inside out. Yeah, they know each other inside out. So like that's a team. If I got in the ring and someone's not pulling their weight, whether it be me or whoever else, they'd get quickly pulled on it. And between the team, we'll do what we can to help each other to make that right.
Yeah.
Because we've all got the same aim. We all need to work together to get the end product.
Yeah. And the thing is, with the lads who run boxing gyms and the men and women who are involved in running boxing gyms and women coaches as well, we have a few of them in Luton as well. Like Tyson Gallagher, and we got Michelle Nelson.
Yeah.
And obviously women across the other gyms around the Bedfordshire. You know, it's that they're there in winning and losing, and they're there to help you in the gym. You know, whether you're ever going to become a carded boxer, to become a professional boxer, or whether you're there just working out. They're there to support you. Do you know what I mean? They're right there for you.
Yeah. Sorry to Tyson and Michelle. I didn't think. But
no.
Both,
You know what?
They're
I
both
get
great at what they do. Tyson, she's a great fighter. Michelle, she's great at what she does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've forgotten the question.
No. I was just saying that those girls are still involved. They're involved in coaching and stuff like that. You know, as well as the other coaches as well. Because you know what, we do talk an awful lot about the lads involved, but it's true. There's someone great women involved in our sport.
Yeah, it's like the way it is today with Katie Taylor and Nicola Adams and Clarissa Shields and people like that. It's not just a man's game now. It's like Katie Taylor. If you go down Dublin or anywhere in Ireland and say she's bigger than Roy Keane.
Yeah.
Like it's mad, but it's good that girls have that kind of role model, and it's still like, although you have them people, it's still quite early. It's not the same vibe for a girl in the gym as what, like, if I'd go in there, there'd be more men than women.
Yeah.
But like, even like if we was out, we'd see a girl from the gym, we look after her. Like, we make sure that's how it works.
Yeah. That's a good thing. I mean, when I spoke to Michelle the other week, she was talking about, you know, they have women only classes sometimes, but actually some of the people will do that, but then end up going into the gym themselves and doing that, because it's the same thing. But you can totally understand how, you know, women will want to be outside of that to begin with, because, you know, you want to be in your own comfort zone. And there's no point in us trying to get people into this sport if we're going to assume that they're all going to want the same as we do. They won't, and why should we expect them to? But you know what? They're all welcome. Everybody's welcome in a boxing gym. You know what I mean? As you said, for every background, any background at all, you know, man or woman, whatever, it doesn't matter. Everybody should just get involved and come and enjoy the sport, isn't it?
Yeah, that's just give it a try. Like, if you look at it, you might in years to come think, I regret not giving that the opportunity. But if you go and you don't like it, you're not lost nothing, have you? You've tried something. And you never know, you might like it, and then you've gained something.
Yeah. And we know how good it is, and all we can do is keep telling people, Blaine. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
Brilliant, mate. Well, listen, thanks very much for catching up with me, Blaine. That was absolutely brilliant, man.
Not a problem, mate. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, no. And listen, I'll catch up with you soon in a couple of weeks. And I'm going to put this video out on YouTube. It'll be going out probably next week, yeah? So I'll send you over the link. Yeah, you make sure you get your mates on there, get them subscribing, yeah?
Yeah, nice one. Thank you.
Thanks, mate. Cheers,
God
Blaine.
bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye.